Elad?
Yes, guy.
Can you just turn on the light, please?
Sure.
Hello everyone and welcome to SoundPark. We are coming to you from the murky submarine studios at the Buchman Meta School of Music at Tel Aviv University. Yes, don't interrupt me please. And joining me today are my two colleagues, Hadara Levin.
Hey.
Hi there Hadara, who's an accomplished singer-songwriter and a lady of many words. You will hear her later on.
I hope so.
We hope so too. And of course, my colleague and dear friend Elad Libman. Hello, Elad.
Hello.
Who is a composer and a computer whiz.
No one's ever called me a whiz before.
Well, you are actually slowly making yourself into one. You know that, don't you?
Well.
Simone Baron on the piano here.
Hi.
Hi, Simone. Thanks for joining us. Well, so thank you for wandering in. Yes, thank you. This is Michael Pavia.
Yes, Pavia.
Pavia. By the end of the show, I think I will perhaps be able to pronounce this correctly.
The gesture will sink in. The
Pavia.
Pavia. Aha. And this is our... Yes. I'm just coming to you. This is our third guest, Ron Shalom.
Excuse me for worrying. Faces often get forgotten about.
Ron is our guest here from Oberlin Conservatory of Music in Ohio. Is that right?
Yes.
And what on earth are you doing here?
I'm here for Israel for the summer.
So you're on holiday.
Yes.
Ron Shalom is a double bass player and a composer and has evolved his own style. We will talk to you a bit further on in the program. And I am Guy Landver, composer and conductor. This week we'd like to take you on a journey into the realm of light and darkness. Light, so necessary is the life, and almost life itself, as Milton quotes in his grand opus, Paradise Lost. More of that later on. We'll talk about the place of light in our life, its many facets, its variations, and its connection to music.
How it reflects in music, how the absence of light reflects in music. Music and sound versus the world of light. Both are spectral.
And if we're talking about light, it is impossible to talk about light without talking about darkness. So part of our show will also be dedicated to exploring that side of life. And on that note, we are ready to start.
Yeah.
Perhaps it would be quite fitting to
Start with a bang.
Haydn's great oratorio, The Creation,
Die Kreation.
which he wrote in 1798. Actually one of the first pieces that he created out of his own will. Most of his other works, he wrote for people, he wrote as a servant. Here it was one of the first pieces that he chose the subject. He wanted to explore the meaning of life. It seems to me like Haydn's intuitive mind almost felt like everything came from this splurge, if you like, from a point of singularity, from this one moment where everything came into being. Light is perhaps the first real creation of duality as well. What do you think of this opening, Elad? Seems a bit dreary to me.
Yeah, well, you think? Because I think there's something very glorious and very uplifting about it to me.
This is exactly the first, again, archetypical opposition of the creation of the light and the doom and of that light, underneath all the time. And I was also thinking that this is the grand and elemental kind of the godly creation.
The moment that light was created.
That one first moment already holds, that intrinsic opposition already. This is it. It's gonna, from now on, I'm gonna bring on the opposition. I'm obsessed with this thing, and this is what I see in everything. The opposing powers of things. And if you say light, I have to see the darkness. If you say darkness, I will have to see the light. And this is kind of a drive. I think, by the way, a drive of creation in general.
This is the archetypical dichotomy, essentially.
Exactly.
It's the first great dichotomy.
And dangerous in that it creates also the cliches
of
those. Exactly. Day and night, and light is good,
versus dark is bad.
Exactly. And happy and depressed and...
Order as opposed to chaos, perhaps.
Also, exactly, and order opposed to chaos brings me to an interesting musical dichotomy that happens in music, because Haydn is trying to describe chaos, ascribe qualities, musical qualities to chaos, but at the same time is still trying to phrase a new musical order. How can you affirm the new order you're trying to describe and use it to describe the complete opposite, which is chaos? Haydn resorts to very creative and interesting musical solutions in order to deal with these two contradictory layers of his own music, which is, I think, part of what makes this musical piece so sophisticated and so clever and effective.
שאלוהים אמר בפעם הראשונה יהי אור, הוא התכוון שלא יהיה לו חשוך, הוא לא חשב באותו רגע על השמיים, אבל העצים כבר החלו מתמלאים במים וציפורים קיבלו אוויר וגוף, אז נשבה הרוח הראשונה אל עיני לבוננו, והוא ראה אותה כמו עיני ענן כבודו וחשב טוב. הוא לא חשב באותו רגע על בני האדם, בני אדם לרוב, אבל הם כבר התחילו לחשוב על עצמם בלי אלים. הוא כבר החל המתרקמת בליבה, על שינה כך יהיה מאושר אמר בליבו האלוהים הטוב האלוהים הטוב אבל הם כבר היו לרוב האלוהים הטוב
Song by Mati Kaspi from 1977 when God said let there be light. Elad, can you elucidate? In this song Mati Kaspi says that the actual motivation of God for creating light was very simple. He didn't want to be in the dark.
I will try and read a few lines at least. The poem is called When God First Said, in Tanzach. When God first said, let there be light, he meant he wouldn't be in the dark. He did not think at that moment of the sky growing taller, but the trees had already begun to take in water, and birds received form in the air. That's when the first gust of wind blew in the eyes of our Lord, and he saw it and thought that it was good. He did not think at the moment of human beings, so many human beings, but they already began to think of themselves without leaves, and they had already begun conspiring a plot of pain. When God first thought of the nighttime, he did not think of sleep. This way I will know peace, but there were already too many, so many human beings.
אבל הם כבר התחילו לחשוב על הזמן בלי עלים הוא כבר החל המתרקמת בליבם מזימה על מחור כשאדוננו חשב בתחילה על הלילה הוא לא חשב על שינה כך יהיה מאושר אמר בליבו האלוהים הטוב האלוהים הטוב אבל הם כבר היו לרוב האלוהים הטוב
Simone, I saw you were particularly happy when I played this song. You know it?
No, it's always a very unique Israeli perspective, the way they put everything kind of... And here it has a very storytelling aspect to it, which I really enjoy.
It's the first time
It's a happy sound.
Yeah, the first
with
time
a doom.
Yeah.
With a doom underneath.
This is SoundPark, coming to you from the Submarine Studios at the Buchman Meta School of Music at Tel Aviv University. This is SoundPark.